Now, actually, we have noun and pronoun, naam and sarvanam, right? Naam and sarvanam. So, nama means what? Like name we already know, like Rama, Rama, Sita, Mitram, Hari, Guru, Pitru, like uh, different names will be there. It is called Nama. Okay, in Sanskrit, we say Akaranta, Ikaranta, all this. So these things will be there first noun. And after noun, you see I'm writing here, first is noun. Okay. Noun. So in that, Rama, okay, Ram, Sita, I'm writing in normal language. I'm not writing in this Sanskrit. Sita, Hari. Okay, these all are different types of nama, like Akaranta, Akaranta, Ikaranta. What is that? When particular nama comes, like Rama comes, that time I will tell you how to identify the which nama is there. Okay, like Pitru. Okay, Pitru. North Indian people, they say Pitri, re say they, but we Maharashtrians say Pitru. Like now, noun will be there. Then pronoun. In the first chapter, they are introducing us what are pronouns. Like Saha, Eshaha. You know, Rupaji also know this, and our also only Saroja doesn't know the basic idea. I will take her classes separately for beginning, then she will end, because Saha, Eshaha, almost everybody knows here. Saha, Eshaha, like that pronoun will be there. Like Yaha, different way. Okay, noun, pronoun. Third point is we have three genders. We all know, like Pullinga, like masculine gender, feminine gender, and neuter gender. Masculine gender, feminine. I'm just writing the initial word, and neuter gender. How to identify this gender? In our other batches, I told you, but when it comes, see, this is just overview. What all things are there? So noun, pronoun. So noun also will be like neuter gender, masculine gender, feminine gender, nouns also. Like Sita is feminine, Strilinga. Like Esha will be Strilinga, like that. Okay. So we have these three genders. Okay. Unlike English language, in English we have singular and plural. But in Sanskrit language, we have singular, dual, and plural. Means what? I'm writing in normal language. Ek vachan, and we say dvivachan. Dvivachan means dual, and next is bahuvachan. Little bit fast because this is just overview, so I'm going fast. When it comes to teaching you text one by one, it will be slow and you should be able to understand it. Ekvachan, dvivachan, bahuvachan. Unlike English, unlike Marathi also. So we have ekvachan and anekvachan. But here in some English, Sanskrit, we have ekvachan, dvivachan, bahuvachan. Like two people are going, then we'll say it differently. Okay. So this is third part. Fourth part is what? We have, you know, declension. 7 ways, like 7 cases are there. 7 cases declension. Okay. 7 cases declension means what? Ramaha, Ramam, Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat. All this you will be by hearting in coming time. So 7 cases we have regarding noun and pronoun. Okay, regarding 7 cases of noun and pronoun. There are no 7 cases of verbs, noun and pronoun. Okay. So fourth point, 7 cases we have. There is called declension. We will decline words, and that declension is heart of Sanskrit. If you don't know how to decline that word, you will not be able to figure out what is the meaning. Declension means they will tell you what meaning it has. So 7 cases declension. Okay. What about verbs? So we have 3 purusha, we say, like pratham purusha. In English we say persons, second person, first person, third person, like that we say in English. So we have in Sanskrit 3 purusha. Okay. Like pratham purusha, that all will learn. Pratham purusha, 3 persons, I can say. Okay. Like pratham purusha, madhyam purusha, uttam purusha, all we will write it down nicely. So these things I told you. Gender, ekvachan, anekvachan, noun, pronoun, and these 3 persons. Okay. We have 10 lakaras. Like in English, we have simple tense, simple present tense, simple present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. We have in English. In the same way or a little bit different manner, we have in Sanskrit lat lakar, like vartaman kal, lat lakar, vartaman kal. 10 lakaras we have. 10 lakar. 10 lakaras we have. Means 10 tenses you can say. Different way of saying, like 10 tenses you can say. Okay, we have 10 tenses. So noun, different names, pronouns, different pronouns, sarvanam, 3 genders, ekvachan, bahuvachan, dvivachan, 7 cases of each noun, 3 persons of each verbs. This is specifically for 3 persons, will be for verbs. Okay, and this 10 tenses also is regarding verbs only. Okay, there are no tenses of pronoun, only verbs they will decline. Okay, then we have active voice, passive voice, and a kartari prayog, karmani prayog, bhave prayog, that also will be included in this. Like we say kartari prayog, karmani prayog, bhave prayog. See, this is just overview. This we will learn for days, not that today we are finishing it, but just I am telling you the overview. Okay, so kartari prayog, karmani prayog, 3 kind of prayogs will be there. What is that? In detail, we'll see when it comes. This book is going to cover everything. We need not worry about anything. So like kartari prayog.
What is that, sir? What is kartari prayog?
Yeah, all these are, after 28th chapter. So I'm just giving you,
Okay.
you can write it down.
Okay.
Kartari prayog means active voice for our understanding. Active voice. Kartari prayog means active voice. And karmani prayog means passive voice. And the third one is bhave prayog. These are names in this. Bhave prayog. Saroja will not be understanding anything because she joined late. I explained structure before, but this is okay. No worry. Okay, kartari prayog, karmani prayog. So these things will be there. Okay, so one by one we will explore what nouns are there, how to identify them, slowly how to decline them, what declension means, Okay, and more important, see here in this text we are not going to study sutra, but little bit flavor of sutra we will have, so that we can understand. We haven't studied any Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi, but we have that magnifying glass that we can understand sutra, though we have not studied. So how to understand sutra, that also we will study. Why? Because if you want to study on your own higher text after this, whatever 28 chapter or 60 chapters, if you want to study that, then you can study on your own. So sutra, how to, means how to understand sutra, that also we will learn. Okay, 4,000 sutras are there in Ashtadhyayi, 4,000 sutra. Our scholars, what they did, they squeezed it and they made it 1,200 sutras. That is called Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi. And this Kapil Dwivedi ji, he, he again took essence of it and give very, very, very important sutra to us. That only if you understand, you will learn everything. What is the secret here? They say Rama Shabda, how to become Rama. They will take 1 month to tell you how Rama became Rama. Actually speaking, 1 month. Here today only we will by heart Rama, Ramo, Ramaha. How Rama became Rama, we don't have to do anything, because we don't want to go that much deep into Sanskrit. We want to understand Gita. When we learn any Subhashita, we should understand that and we should enjoy that knowledge. This is the purpose behind learning all this. Having studied this, you will become good knowledgeable person of Sanskrit. For scholarship, other things, but this much is very nice here. I can give English sentence, you will translate in Sanskrit. Any Sanskrit sentence, you will translate in English. That much capable you will be. So Kartari, Karmani, Prayog, all. So in this text, one by one they will pick up. Like Rama Shabda they will pick up. Then slowly Sita Shabda they will pick up. All these things they will tell us. So noun, pronoun, genders, like Ekvachan, Dvivachan, Bahuvachan, 7 cases of nouns and pronouns, 3 persons of verb, like first person, second person, third person, then 10 tenses you can say, and Kartari, Karmani, Prayog, this. And main important, how to make sutra, how to understand sutra, that we'll study. Sutras. Few sutras I will tell you how to understand. Once you got the master key, then you can open any lock. So that master key you will try to learn. Like any sutra, how to split that sutra, by the time of 28th chapter you will understand. Then how to rearrange it, how to understand, that will see sutra. Okay, in this second chapter only we will learn how to make pratyahara, what is pratyahara, all these things, and small rules. Okay, so far I have made it clear whatever I want to tell you. Now little bit we should learn today, and then we'll go.
Bhave Prayog.
Bhave Prayog means, English translation I will have to check. Okay, for that. Bhave Prayog means it is karmani only. Karmani only, but karma is not possible. That intransitive verb we say in English. There are transitive verbs, means where karma is possible. Like I sit. The sit is intransitive verb. Akarmak dhatu we say. And when that we have to make it into passive voice, that becomes bhave prayog. Means what? Akarmak dhatu akarmak verb, intransitive verb, when I have to make that verb into passive voice, that time whatever prayoga I do, the usage of words I use, that is called bhavi prayoga. So one by one we'll see after 28th chapter these all things. Okay, so we shall learn something today. Okay. Yes. So chapter 1 name you can give. In Sanskrit, if you give, it will be better. How to write now? Abhyas ek. Abhyas ek. Abhyas ek. Okay. So far for all levels, I have teach like saha and te. Because when dual comes, that times it becomes little bit difficult. So when, as far as talking is concerned, we say no, you learn singular and plural. No need to learn dual. But here, full exhaustive study will be there. Okay. Now, we are starting with first chapter and ka part. So many of us, we know this. What is this saha and tau and te? Saha we know. Saha. Saha is actually pronoun. In Hindi we say wo. In English we say he. Saha means he. Okay, before that also there is some important things which you should know. Let me just explain you in 5 minutes. This will start later. Let me check you how much you know first. Means just for my understanding. Like if I say Meenakshi ji and all, they are studied from me only, so they know the
No, sir.
pronunciation and all, they know. So I will ask Rupa ji,
Yeah.
how will you pronounce this visarga? Like full. No.
Guruhu. Guruha. Guruhu.
Meenakshi ji, you will not say. You will not say.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Okay, I will ask again. Rupa ji in different way. Okay. See.
Agnihi.
Agnihi. Rupa ji, do you know why we pronounce this visarga as he?
Because in Guru we said Guruhu.
Ruko.
Yeah, it is Agnihi. Okay. No.
Okay. Yeah. These things means we study. Okay. So that is why I came back. I got that point that Rupa ji may not be knowing this, Saroja ji may not be knowing this. Okay. What is the actually visarga means a her. Visarga means her actually. Mute. Vaishnav, mute. Okay. Visarga means, see, two things we have to remember. That is, Visarga means her. Vaishnav, mute. Yeah. Thank you. In Visarga means her, that is very clear. But we don't say all the time Guru her. We say Guru hu. We say Agni hi. I will ask Meenakshi ji. She also doesn't know this. Meenakshi ji, what do we say for ek minute? What happened? You know, now I'm in school. I'm typing in different way. How a you. This is. Can you pronounce this?
Auha.
So here, what do we pronounce? These are the small things. Okay, let me explain you the main concept. Then you can. I need not explain further. Rupa ji, Visarga is here, and before visarga, E is preceding here. Agni, if you write down the vigraha, it will be ag and plus E.
Mhm.
So now ha is there. So E is preceding, you will add E in this. That is why you say Agni hi.
Mm.
See, when Rama is there, and why do you say Rama ha? Because ha is the, ha means visarga. Pronunciation of visarga is ha. But before this visarga, a is preceding, like Rama, in that ma plus a is there. So you say a. Okay. And harihi, hari is over, like pashuhu. Pashuhu is the word. Pashuhu. So, because before visarga, what is preceding, that you have to see. Before visarga, u is preceding, so I will say ha plus u, hu. Now see this, we can't go from the basic a e e. That also video I am posting on YouTube. If you have that problem, like how to identify a, ru, that also videos are coming. We can't teach you from that level. It will be really bore when I teach a e e u u. So we are not going at that level. I consider that you know all letters, and from there we are jumping, we are diving into this Sanskrit ocean. So when I say like gauhu, means like cow. So why do I say gauhu? There must be a question. Because at the end, what is preceding before au? So gau, how I should say?
Mm.
Gau, how I should say? But why do I say gauhu?
Mm.
Because see, you please, when I upload my videos, I will let you know. Those videos are free. You can explore into that. All detail. What is swara, vyanjan, swaradi? How to pronounce a, what are the mechanism behind that? How do I pronounce ta, tha, da, dha? All things I am recording that and sending on YouTube. So we don't teach that here. There are original swaras. 13 swaras are there, 13 vowels. 13. Out of them, some of them are original, like 7, and rest of them, they are derived vowels. So here, au means, you know what? Au means a plus u becomes au. So actually here, before visarga, au is not there. U is there. You got my point? Before visarga, au is not there, because au means a plus u. That is why we say gauhu. Now u is there, means what I will say? Ha, and I will say hu, right? Gauhu. So this is the one point, means what is preceding, depending upon that I will pronounce the visarga pronunciation. And another thing, ma. Ma, dot means in Sanskrit ma. These two things, if we learn, many of you have learned, but again, quick revision I have done of this. From next class, we will start with first chapter. So dot means like Ramam. So this dot means actually ma. So first rule we saw, unknowingly, whatever is preceding that we will pronounce. And second rule, this ma is called, dot is called ma in Sanskrit, like Ramam. Wherever dot is there, that is ma. These two things, if you remember, because frequently, every now and then, this will be coming. After each letter, each word, this ma visarga will be coming. Okay, what is this visarga? What is it called? I'm not going much deeper into that. It is called swaradi. See, three things. Let me tell you why to keep anything. Okay. See, first thing is Vyanjana, vowels. I will tell you in brief. Okay. Vowels. 13 vowels are there. In that, some of them are there original and some of them are derived. Okay. What are derived? What are original? You can check in that video. Okay. Like all are original and A, I, O, O derived. Okay. A, I, O, derived vowels. Some of them are raswa, some of them are dirgha. Raswa means one beat. Dirgha means two beat. So what are raswa, what are dirgha? If you want to go from that basic, it will take much time. But I will make sure you understand that through videos. Okay. To learn whatever I teach, we don't need that. But to learn everything in detail, yes, of course we need that. If you want to become a teacher, Sanskrit teacher, you must know how to pronounce, what are the mechanism behind pronunciation, all these things. But to learn this, no need of that. Derived vowels. So swara 13 vowels. Some of them are original, some of them are derived. Then Vyanjana. Vyanjana has three parts. Briefly, I am explaining in 3 minutes, last 3 minutes. First is Kathor Vyanjan, like hard consonant, then soft consonant, and then Anunasika, means nasal. Hard, soft, and nasal consonant, Anunasika. These things are there. So vowels, consonant, and third portion is Swaradi. Swaradi means before which always vowels will be there. Swara, Adi, Swaradi. Visarga and Ma is Swaradi, which are not there in other Sanskrit, any other language. Like Ramaha is only in Sanskrit. Ramam is only in Sanskrit. So 13 vowels, 33 consonant, 2 Swaradi, Visarga and Ma. This is very, very basic information. How to pronounce them, what are mechanisms, everything will not teach here, but definitely we will learn from first chapter after this. Okay, so far I have not shown you any temptation, like you should do this course, and because you are keen to do this. Otherwise, when I started my, Sanskrit courses, only Subhashita, puzzles, picture showing, these, that, I did that thing. But nobody is consistent. They come for enjoyment, they learn a few things and they go. Okay, so you can learn for specific purpose and you can actually get this language. Yes. Now on Wednesday, we will meet with first chapter. Okay, first chapter we will start and slowly we'll see what the things will come. I will explain you and no doubt will remain. That is my responsibility. So thank you for listening patiently and all things, though you have heard many things, but still you listen. I will stop recording. Now you can tell something, 10 minutes we have. Any doubt? And we will close the session today.